Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to My Hero Academia video. I'm saying that, but this is going to be whatever me and my guest talk about. We have the illustrious, you may know him on YouTube for having the best bar on YouTube. We got my man, DanExclaims. Dan, long time no talk.
Yeah.
How are you doing, my friend?
Lynn, what is good, my brother? It's been the illustrious. I like that, man.
Hey, look, I give people I like great intros.
Let's fluff the feathers a little bit more. My ego is gigantic. Let's keep going.
This is my guy, DanExclaims. Super glad to have him on the show. He has supported this network since jump. He didn't have to come on and play Pitch It with us, which, by the way, Dan is coming back, so I'll let you know when the season starts, like legitimate. Like
I'm coming.
I'm
coming for the belt this time.
I know, and we have we're starting it to where I'll say this now. We're starting it to where I don't have the belt. So
thank God.
We're starting it. The first match is the championship match for the season.
Ooh.
And then we're continuing. And you are one of the people that the commissioner's talking about being in that initial match. And instead of having it be a head-to-head, it will be a triple threat match.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we're coming hard this year.
A triple threat match, man. We're going to be talking about the WWE later on today, too, man. That's still...
Yeah. Fact. So it would be literally one person saying their thing, then one person saying theirs. It would be intense. So
I will be on the ladder. I will be Jeff Hardy.
But we got my man Dan in the building. Look, I brought Dan on to talk My Hero because that's where we connected at first. So let's start there, Dan. What did you think of Core 1, Part 1 of My Hero? What is it, season 6?
Season 6. Yeah.
Yeah, season 6.
So I actually, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure this is like the first time I'm ever giving like audibly giving my take on season 6, which is why.
Okay, nice.
I haven't really been on top of it. I've been on top of it on Twitter. I've been live tweeting the episodes occasionally, but like the one thing I really enjoyed about season 6 was how it really didn't pull any punches going into the season. The season, season 6, episode 1 kind of, hammered it home that...
no.
No, it didn't do a recap.
Yeah.
That's
I'm thinking season 5. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's what really, really kind of appealed to me, because season 6, it was like the editors and the producers were like, okay, this is season 6 of an anime. If you haven't been watching it, you're kind of lost in the sauce, and you should have been watching the first 5 seasons. So we're going to keep going and keep the same energy that we've been putting out there since the end of season 5. Which I totally respected, and I thought that was like an amazing idea.
And when you look at it, let's be real, Dan. Season 5, I think they failed My Villain Academia. I'm gonna just be honest. I think they did, and I think they realized, holy shit. Honestly, from My Villain Academia, it should have started there, and the hype train should have continued until the end. There shouldn't have been any slowage, stoppage, but because of how they failed My Villain Academia, they had to come super hard with 6 to get that train rolling. Because as you know, as someone who reads, the roller coaster's going now, and we're not stopping. In part 2 of this core, this is where people are gonna lose their fucking shits.
Yes. So to backtrack real quick, season 5, in my opinion, is the worst season of the anime.
I agree. I fucking agree.
The way that they moved around My Villain Academia to like they kept everything with like class 1A and 1B, which I thought was so fucking boring. Like
I was like, why? Then you move around the freaking
the ending fight.
Yeah, with in depth, you move all of that shit around, and instead of giving us like real core moments of My Villain Academia, because I'm gonna be honest, I guarantee some of the people don't understand Shigaraki's story as well as they should.
No, and then and Spinner as well, because
oh my gosh, you're right.
There's so much within the next couple of episodes, Spinner is you're gonna see Spinner kind of go through this little bit of a digression, and without what you see him go through in season 5, you can't really reflect on it as hard as when you see it in season 6, because
people are gonna be
lost. 5, they'll be a little bit lost. They'll be a little confused. They'll wonder why Spinner is allowed to have this much presence,
this much say. Yeah.
When you hear during My Villain Academia that technically Spinner's closest friend is Shigaraki. They played games together. They are boys. And that really doesn't get kind of hammered home in My Villain Academia. And to my opinion, like the way that they ended the season was terrible. The
I
end
agree.
of the season should have been the Kurogiri reveal. That should have
Yep.
been the cliffhanger, because that would have been the ultimate what the hell situation going on. It would have made people scramble, try to figure out who Kurogiri was, who
Well, yep.
Shirakumo was. Instead, you move on like really quick into My Villain Academia, and you don't even let that kind of fester,
You
because
don't let it breathe. Yeah.
yeah, because like think about it. This is just my head. My head would go into, okay, you ended My Villain Academia. Now you have this little bit of a downtime, which usually happens, where, Aizawa gets called out and finds out that his best friend is still alive, and he's actually the Nomu that they've been had in prison for the past 6 months. Now, when the season ends, people can go, oh, I wonder who Shirakumo is. That's the last thing on their mind. And now, from a
Yep.
marketing standpoint, from a business standpoint,
Now
people are
it's
going to
like,
search
let's
that
go
out.
read
Let's
Vigilantes.
go read
Yep.
Vigilantes, because now there's a 20 chapter arc based around Aizawa in school and this character. Like, they took scenes from Vigilantes and animated them in that little bit. Like the handing of the goggles and shit, that
Yeah.
isn't in My Hero Academia. That is
Like,
in
not at all.
Vigilantes. Like,
No,
it's
you're
not,
absolutely right.
period. Like, you don't know the reason why when he holds out the goggles in front of him and holds them in front of Shirakumo, you don't understand that reference, because they didn't like do it properly. When you read in Vigilantes that the reason why he has the goggles is because he keeps on closing his eyes, like because of fear, not because of something getting in his eyes,
because of sweat or something like that hiding his eyes. And then to that point, they even highlight that in the recent season. And when I see it, I'm like, Shirakumo, and I think of all these moments. But
exactly.
when my co-host of Anime Talk sees it, he's like, oh, this is cool. And he doesn't understand why he's like, I get you're invested in there fulfilling a lot of character stuff, but he's like, you're making it seem like they're fulfilling a lot of stuff right now. And I was like, but they are, because I read the manga and like, this shit is deep right now. Like, season 6 is supposed to be the emotional crescendo, honestly, of part 1. And then My Hero Vigilantes starts building something new to where we're going to get the emotional crescendo of the war and everything we're reading right now from this stuff.
And don't even get me started on how, like, the fact that, like, I built my channel on Vigilantes, bro.
Yeah.
I pushed it. I gave them so much free marketing on the American side of things that people till this day, thousands of people have told me that I would have never known about Vigilantes if it weren't.
That's how I found out about 100. That's how I literally were watching your videos and I was like, let me just take a shot in the dark, hit him up, see if because you make great Vigilantes content.
And that was like the thing. Like, I wanted to bring this to the forefront, but now, like, with them kind of tossing the character aside, one, that tells us that they have no intentions of bringing Vigilantes into the main, timeline, because it's a, first of all, like, I didn't really pick up the volumes until recently, and now I've been reading the volumes of Vigilantes.
Okay.
And you see how much, like, promotion is going on. Like, in volume 5 of My Hero Academia, the guys who wrote Vigilantes are in it, and they promote Vigilantes in the volume itself. Yeah, I'm gonna do like a YouTube short on it, just because, like, I'm like, I think I already did one. They literally promote Furuhashi and Betancourt, saying, yo, like, there's a new story coming out featuring this guy Koichi, and pretty much how Koichi is like the basis of Deku if Deku never went to school and shit like that. And like, from a marketing standpoint, they make Vigilantes look like a cash grab. That's what they made it look like. And that's the thing that kind of burnt me up, because it wasn't like Team Up Mission or My Heroine Academia, where it was like,
well, that's cash grab.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, they're just doing one-off stories for the sake of doing one-off stories. Like, the fact of the matter is, Vigilantes has over 100 chapters. It's in
It's a full
continuity.
series.
It
And
precedes.
the connections to All for One, I'm sure, are going to
Yeah.
matter when we learn
Yeah.
more about All for One.
Like, they let you know that the reason why Overclock doesn't exist anymore is because Ujiko wasn't able to duplicate Overclock, and he gave it to number 6, and that's why Overclock disappeared. But, like, the fact of the matter is, right, we all saw the end of Vigilantes, and we saw how hard of a hitter Koichi was at the end, and Star and Stripe got murked. And you're telling me what's the reason why he doesn't go back to America? Because Americans, the Japanese police are going to arrest him because he has so much shit on him? No.
Yeah.
Anybody that's been reading My Hero Academia right now knows the state of what Japan is in. Like, it's a free-for-all going on in that country right now. And no country wants to get involved with it on the outside because they know how much of a shit show it is. And you're telling me that the main character of a story who has so much stake in that country is like, I'm just gonna hang out here. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna just chill in America.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna chill in Brooklyn. Like, no, like, come on, dude. This is it. It doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And see, let me just real quick, we'll take the detour to Vigilantes. Do you have hope that the Vigilantes content you'll receive will be after My Hero finishes in a movie form?
See, I feel like a movie form, movies would cut down the story.
It wouldn't do it justice.
Wouldn't do it justice. I mean, would I have liked to maybe see like like, you know how like they did like the Kakashi Gaiden on like the side? Like, I would like to see something like that. Like, you know how like they're doing Sasuke's story right now where he fought like a fucking velociraptor?
You don't want that like in the anime. Honestly, with the last whenever the final season of MHA is, that's the move they should do.
I mean, look, they had the opportunity to do Vigilantes as an anime. Like, it should have been last season. The minute that they had gotten done with Overhaul, they should have been planning Vigilantes the anime. And to be quite honest, I don't know why they did, because it's still a Shonen Jump anime, and it's still a Viz anime, and still related to Shonen Jump. So I don't know why anybody didn't walk into Horikoshi's room and go, "Hey, Jujutsu Kaisen just did a movie for their side character.
Yep.
Why aren't we doing anything like that?" Instead, they gave us World Heroes Mission, which sucked.
Yeah.
It was not a good movie. The second movie, still in my opinion, is the best one, but
I'm the first movie guy because the second one pisses me off with the transitioning of that power. I'm just like,
yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be the original ending.
Me.
That's what it was supposed to be. That's supposed to be the original ending of My Hero Academia, which was just, honestly, I'm very happy they didn't go with that, because that would have been so dumb.
Jesus, oh man, that would have been, yeah, that would have been bad. But in the end,
they were like, I like how they were like, he didn't really trust him with the power, so it returned to him. It's like, what the fuck?
What a cop out.
Come on. That's always, so like, also, there's something I like to say that where like, every manga and anime has its point of no return. It's chapter 13 in Final Fantasy 15, if you will, where it just any game kind of goes like, hey, this is the moment where if you haven't done any of the open world quests, the game is about to become really linear. So you should really, really finish up the side shit before you proceed forward. Every single manga and anime has that moment, whether it's, the fake Karakura getting formed in Bleach, whether it's the war starting in Naruto, whether it's the final. Well, I don't even One Piece. Fuck that.
I mean, shit. It'd be Wano. Like
Wano, I guess. Yeah, if you want to call Wano, but they fucking that maybe.
I mean, that's where if I'm a normal reader, I'm like, yo, if like Wano is where you learn. That's what we learn. Majority of the shit he set up for 30 years.
Exactly. So like Wano, I guess. Okay, so Wano, and then like, even Hunter x Hunter, the final, the part where they're going to fight the Chimera Ants. Yeah. That is literally the point of no return for Gon. There's so many, and right now the point of no return was when they decided to take UA and lift it into the fucking sky. Like the problem, and my problem right now with My Hero, like the manga itself, because the anime has the opportunity to be a very, very good back half of the, was it Core 2? Has a very good opportunity to be something very good and honestly pretty magical. But the problem is, in my opinion, how they started off was terrible. I thought that the first episode of Core 2 was god awful.
Why are we doing a recap?
Why are we doing a recap?
Yes.
You didn't insult anybody's intelligence by starting the season without a recap, and then you immediately insult everybody's intelligence by telling us that you don't have enough money for animation and just going forth and making
instead of making that intro that gas, you should have fucking put that in, not giving us a recap episode.
Yeah. You gave us it wasn't even like a recap episode, too.
It was like a slideshow.
It was a slideshow. It was literally a slideshow. I could have fucking edited that. Like, it was that, like, I understand that, like, all you're telling me is that, like, the next half of this season, the next 12 episodes are going to be fire. And I could tell you right now, if the Lady Nagant fight doesn't blow me away, I'm going to
be pissed.
Fucking anime a new one.
Yeah, I'm with you. That should be like Crunchyroll fight of the year. Candidate.
Literally. It's like, it should be one of the best scenes of 2023. And then if the 1A stuff, if that is lacking too, that is dumb. Because it looks like their animation and drawing budget so far went to drawing a Chaco's face, her shocked reaction to a hero quitting. Like,
I know you're right.
That was the first. So it does like the first 3 minutes where it's like just, what's his name getting arrested. And then it jumps into the slideshow. And I remember looking at my wife and being like, that episode kind of sucked. And she was like, that episode was really bad.
Super bad. And I'm like, why did we spend the first amount of time arresting fucking Redestro? I'm like, what are we doing right now?
That was that was maybe 2 pages in the manga. And then immediately it went to the hospital and showed you the fallout of everybody in the hospital. Which
that's what I thought we were gonna see.
Because the next episode is gonna be that stretched out again. So you're gonna get the hospital shit with, like, it maybe will end with Deku, them going, where's Deku?
Yeah, and we might see him standing on top of the gargoyle, maybe.
No. You are giving this anime right now way too much fucking credit.
No, you're right.
So
it's
what's gonna
be them
happen?
asking the question to be continued.
well, what's gonna happen, right, is they are not even gonna go to the hospital probably, because I'm pretty sure the episode title is called Tartarus. So
oh my god,
you're gonna
we're gonna be in the jail the whole time.
Yeah, it's gonna be the All For One breakout. You're going to see All For One breaks out. You're going to meet Lady Nagant. You're going to see Overhaul chilling.
You think they show Stain?
You're going to see Stain, and he's going to be one of the people. You're going to see Muscular as well. You're going to see Moonfish. It's going to do like the whole jailbreak thing. And then from there, it has to move back to the hospital, because it has to show, how everybody's recovering. And then if it does show Deku at the end, expect 2 more episodes where they're inside of the singularity, where the successors of All For One have to go, because the final fight between him and Shigaraki finally finished off the singularity and created that room where he can actually speak with the users of One For All, where they just go, hey, look, we are finally all here. Our quirks are pretty much, you can use
maxed
them now.
Out. Yeah, you can use them. Yeah,
you can use them anytime you want. Like, they are a part of your body. We have to tell you what our quirks are. The 4th user, One For All, goes ahead and tells him, hey, you've actually been using my quirk already and you haven't even noticed. And that's why a spike feels like it's going through your head every 5 seconds when you're in danger. And if you aren't careful, what's going to happen to you is going to happen to me. And it's going to fucking crack your skull. And that's why I have scars on my face, because my quirk literally caused my head to split open. Like, that is something that's going to be 2 more episodes. And then we're going to get into,
him battling like Muscular and all that shit.
It'll pivot. It'll do that strong pivot out of the hospital, where we'll find out that Deku left letters for everybody and he's a vigilante going out smacking villains, saving fucking you from Muscular, and literally tossing Muscular around like it's fucking nothing. That is something that they have to show us, that Deku has, like, this little moment of growth has taken him and, like, slingshotted him further than.
And see, that's what I'm excited for, to see everyone's reactions, because everyone for years, oh, Deku's not a good MC, weak Deku, crybaby. This is the moment where it has to, not only does he have to, like, destroy Muscular, it has to be like, the animation, everything has to be like he's here, he's arrived type situation.
No, it has to be a strong slap. It has to be a confident slap. Like, he has to show up and he has to deliver the fucking hands. If he doesn't, then it's not properly conveying the absolute distance between him and 1A now. Like, there is a clear-cut difference in him and Endeavor. Like,
yeah, no, you're right. Like, once he starts, and I'm so happy I can talk to you about this. Once he starts adding like Fajin, once he starts, it's like he's All Might now.
Yeah.
Like,
once he starts using Fajin, the smoke screen in collaboration with Black Whip and Danger Sense and Float at the same time, and doing like a faux 100%. Like,
dude is like Batman mixed with Spider-Man and a little bit of Superman. It's crazy.
Exactly. And like, the one thing that, like, I actually don't like Gear Shift. I think Gear Shift's kind of
okay. Wait. Can we talk about that in a little bit? Because I want you to explain what that is to me. Because I'm still fucking confused about what Gear Shift is.
This is what my headcanon says. Gear Shift changes the speed and, like, this, not trajectory, but it can accelerate certain things. It's kind of like Overclock in a way, but actually, where Overclock is actually just your brain processing faster than everybody else.
This is your body, like, just doing.
This is the actual process of it. Okay, and it has to be inanimate objects too, remember, because Fajin
that's what I was about to ask.
Organic version of it.
So the second user, I'm assuming, used this on a bullet to try to shoot him. That's what I'm assuming. That type of shit. So when Deku, like, touches an inanimate object, like let's say he touches a building, can he use that to boost himself?
No.
Oh, so no, it's all inanimate objects then.
Yeah. So, like, that's why, like, that guy had, like, a gun on his arm, because that's what it straight up was. He probably fired it out. And as he fired it out, he could change it mid-flight to be, you know, slow it down, speed it up. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you watch JoJo's, but it's kind of like a shitty Poochie stand.
Good call.
That's literally what I tried to explain it as. It's just like really, really shitty Sea Moon.
I was shocked he didn't get a laser. That's what I always assumed the second user was.
I thought it was going to be a laser too.
Energy type situation. Yeah. Because, like, Deku's not about to shoot a gun. Like,
well, now apparently he's piecing people up, man. Like if this man pulled out a gat, he would be able to fucking blow Shigaraki away. Like,
so you think he's gonna use it on his wind gust, or like what will he use this on?
I think he could definitely use it on the wind gust, but what did he use it on? He already used it. I forgot exactly what he used it on, though. He definitely,
I'll pull that up real quick.
He definitely had used it against Shigaraki at one point, where he was like, he used Gear Shift and, like, something fucking accelerated ridiculously.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But, like, the thing was, like, has, like, the shittiest caveat, man. It, like, literally makes him tired. Like, it's like, and it's like the strongest of his quirks, technically. So it is like the one that has the heaviest toll on his body.
Oh, he used it on Shigaraki. Like, he like he, like, shot him out where Oh, he's putting it on Black Whip too.
Okay, so he can use it on Black Whip.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What chapter are you looking at right now? What is it?
I'm looking at 369 and 368 as well.
368?
Yeah, 368 is where he goes Top Gear. Okay, so yeah. Look at that.
Overdrive, yeah. Gear Shift Overdrive. So it's literally, it looks like,
yeah, I think he puts it on Black Whip, and it's like, and he speeds up that shit. Crazy.
Yeah, it speeds up a target. It's a meta ability that changes a target speed when touched. So he could do it to his. So essentially, it's not he moves himself fast. So he does Fajin to make himself go really quick, right? And then as he claps somebody up and fucking hits them, that is when Gear Shift kicks in, because the hit and then will cause Shigaraki to accelerate and slam into the ground even harder than he possibly thought, because he's then at that point turning Shigaraki into a projectile.
Yep. Okay. And then he comes on the other side and smash him. Gotcha. Yeah. See, Overdrive, not the biggest fan of that. Like,
not the biggest fan.
Yeah. I was so much ready just to say, okay, my guy gets lasers. let's fucking, or like energy bolt, something Ultraman related. Because
oh my god, I saw Shin Ultraman. I'll talk about that later.
But like if I remember somebody posted a long theory, and you and Pineapple fucked with it, where they broke down. I think they were from Japan, where they broke down like the inspirations of Horikoshi, and like everyone was there but Ultraman, and I'm like, what inspired this? Like, I've never seen something like this.
It probably just shows that Horikoshi's not a religious guy, because I recently found out that Ultraman, super Catholic, dog. Super.
Real?
Dog, think about his special beam. He does the sign of the cross.
You're right. He
does. Literally holds his hand up in a cross and goes, Pew!
You're right.
He is a straight up Christ-like figure. I went to go see Shin Ultraman, and the one guy that he's fighting does an upside down cross, and he makes the people of Earth sign a contract. And I turn to my buddy and I just go, dog, this motherfucker is Satan.
Yeah, like Satan Antichrist in the building.
Yeah, I was like, what am I fucking watching right now? I broke my January for like one day, smoked a little bit, went in. I was like, dude, tolerance break. Whoo, man, I was bugging the fuck out, dude.
and seeing Shin Ultraman.
Dude, this guy did like, he like came down. He like, first of all, the flying motions, like, dude, fucking stiff as a board. All right, and he like hovers himself up like maybe like a little bit off the ground, and then just starts windmilling, and just spins, and then kicks this motherfucker in the face. And I was like, what is this shit I'm watching right now? People are screaming in the movie theater, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, that's the only reason why sometimes I like going to see Japanese movies, is because it's actually encouraged in those settings to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
that's dope.
Yeah. That's why I like, whereas like, you go see like, the new Batman, it's like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, be quiet. I do not say a fucking word.
I need to know it is Halloween and the Joker is running wild. And then you have like the guy like, what kind of popcorn do you want? It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. This guy is whispering, all right?
He's pulling Chinatown. Like, I have to listen to this shit right now.
It's like, dude, I don't understand what this motherfucker is saying. He is really soft spoken, and you are really loud down in front.
Yeah, no, 100%. So let me ask you now. So, or do you still subscribe to Dad for One or Dad for All?
I never did. I want to put this. I want to make this very clear. I was pretty much there. Like, it's going on. Wow, this fucking theory is almost a decade old now. Like, I was like, I remember when we were talking about it on his Discord with a bunch of his like anime friends, and they were talking about Dad for One, and I'm like, I understand Horikoshi has like an inhuman love for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that, like, yes, if All for One was Deku's dad and all that jazz, I feel like the shark isn't just jumped. He's like doing a fucking free willy on it. That is, I want to say, the like a like, oh, I'm trying to figure out like the word like a not it's, I want to say it's like a massive amount of like a misstep. It's very much a cop out. It's lazy.
Yeah, you see it coming. No, I feel you.
And it's,
I don't even think Deku's dad's gonna matter to the story.
But that's the thing, though. Horikoshi said that Deku's dad is important to the story.
Real.
That was the thing that kind of like Pineapple straight up was like, okay, that is your nail in the coffin right there. He just straight up said that he has a purpose, actual connection, a purpose to this story, which pretty much tells everyone like it's that Now, did you follow Naruto like when it was coming out weekly? Manga?
Yeah. Okay, so I watched it growing up, and then right after the Pain arc is when I started reading weekly.
Okay, so perfect. So it's kind of like how everyone, like the minute they saw the Sharingan on Toby, everyone knew that it was Obito.
Yeah, facts.
Everyone knew that it was Obito.
The opposite of Kakashi. Yes.
Exactly. Everybody knew that it was Obito, but on like, and then everybody be like, nah, dude, Obito couldn't be him. That side of his body got crushed. Da 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 da. And I'm like, yo, the fucking previous bad guy just brought everybody back to life. He killed everybody in the village and then was like, I'm sorry, and then brought everyone back to life. The fucking girl got split in half. The Hokage gets split in half, and motherfucker just puts her back together.
Yep.
And you think
also we see him use Kamui too, which people were like, No,
Yeah.
that's not Kamui.
Yeah. And like the copium, getting lost in that sauce was like, dude, no. It's very much Obito. And I remember putting like a YouTube comment being like, yo, that's totally Obito, and people roasting me into oblivion. Like, and then
So
it
where
comes
do you
out.
think the dad's gonna fall then? If it's not, if you don't think it's gonna be all for one, if you had to give your best guess.
See, I'm just like, I feel like this is like a soundbite Fabian Pineapple has been waiting for me to say, and he'll fucking make it into like a Twitter clip where he'll just be like, told you Dan would admit that it's dad for one. But like, now that I'm thinking about it and like trying to like think of like logical things for him to pivot into the story, the only thing that would make sense besides fucking dad for one at this point would be if like he was a politician. That is, and you'd have like him having to be like overseas.
Yeah.
Other than that, right
and like
now,
doing negotiations with the guy who looks like it's a trap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, other than that, it is so blatantly, oh, fuck him. It is so blatantly obvious.
Could it be that he's not all for one? Could he be a quirk stolen? Like, could the dad be like one of the most powerful quirks for all for one?
I don't know. But like, now that I think about it, dude, it's like this with Horikoshi saying that Deku's dad
matters,
matters so much, and the doctor that he goes to is Dr. Uchiko.
Bro, I said that from episode when I realized that doctor was the one he went to. I was like, that's not, he didn't do that coincidentally. Like, no way.
I wouldn't be surprised if All For One uses a quirk and he goes, oh, you don't know this quirk? Oh, it's because it's yours.
Yeah.
And he's like, you see, when you were a kid, that's right, I'm your dad. He goes, you displayed this quirk and I took it from you. Like, that's something that would be a massive amount of fuckery that would bring it all around, because you'd have Shigaraki, who's a direct descendant of All For
Nana.
One, Nana and One For All. And then you'd have Deku, who's a direct descendant of All For One and the original user of One For All. So that's the caveat that makes me want to fucking curse Fabian's name, because it's like he was the first person to pick up Occam's razor. And it's like, at this point, he's either Deku's dad or a character of zero consequence whatsoever. And Horikoshi has just done a fast one on us. But
he
right
was just
now,
like, fibbing. No.
Yeah, he's like, psych. No, but like, I'm gonna fluff this motherfucker's feathers, but he's usually like, he's really good at he goes, I'm really good at predicting things. No, Fabian is really, really good at seeing narratives play out and understanding how they're going to move, because there's only some directions where they can go to. Like, him knowing that La Brava coming back, like, he knew La Brava was coming back because he's well versed. We sat in the same fucking classroom together. He's very, very, very knowledgeable when it comes to figuring out the way that the path of the narrative is going to go. So when you introduce a character like La Brava, who is a hacker, who is willing to redeem themselves, and then later on you introduce an evil hacker, you are pretty much saying that since there's no other technologically based heroes, La Brava
got to come back.
Will come back. Gentle will come back.
I'm waiting on that one. That's coming.
So you're going to have, I don't want to say like a Suicide Squad, but you're going to have a group of vigilantes, and one of them probably will be Stain. Because imagine if Gentle's out here making things bouncy for fucking Stain. That would be
nuts.
Insane. Not to mention, we've seen that Stain can take down Nomus relatively easy, and right now, Nomus are beating the shit out of everybody. So they need...
And the hero seems like they can't do shit with those Nomus.
Exactly. And the heroes right now are just getting, outside of Deku, everybody is getting worked. So they need to do like a... That's why, like, sometimes I think that, like, Black Clover does things right, because what I thoroughly enjoy about manga is when they're able to take steam off the main character and make characters have about as much importance as the main character.
That's
Like,
why I love Black Clover. You just nailed it. And
yeah,
I never could get it into words, but like the fact that they have me care about Magna,
yeah, Magna.
and he's fighting Dante, like,
Yeah.
what?
He
But
not only
it
does
works.
he fucking fight Dante, he literally he does what I say Aizawa does, and he brings them down to their like to his level. He's like, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face until you lose, and then you're gonna keep on using all of your magic up. But what you don't realize is you're actually screwing yourself because we share the same amount of magic. So I just know I'm tougher than you. So when we run out of magic and we're both magicless, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And then that's what Magna does. He beats the ever-loving shit out of Dante to the point where Luck, who's a reincarnated elf at this point, and fucking Asta, who just show up and they're like, what?
Yeah, you did this? Crazy.
What?
You're on our level now.
Bad
nice.
guy. The main bad guy gets beaten by Magna. You won't see Bakugo take down Shigaraki. You won't see Bakugo take down, not even Bakugo. You won't see Kirishima walk up to fucking All For One and deck him in the face and knock him out cold. You're not going to see that because Horikoshi likes his American style comic books where he makes his main characters be the person that overcomes a obscene amount of adversity to, you know, achieve that echelon of you know, protagonist that.
And honestly, I think that's why it's not as popular in Japan as it is in America.
Yeah,
because it's based on American comics to a T.
And what a lot of people that don't read American comics know is that American comics tend to get pretty boring when they do that type of stuff. Like American comics, they don't have that. Rarely do they have a moment where, you know, someone powers up and goes like a completely different level. Like the only time I can think about that is literally when Superman realized that he could fucking explode and become human,
go into the sun, like that type of shit,
and then goes into the sun, comes back down, and literally sets off like a fucking bomb because he can do that, and then he's completely vulnerable after. What American comics does is team ups. So right when you think that someone is going to die, Superman will show up in front of Batman, or Robin will show up, or Nightwing will show up, or someone's about to get fucked, and then all of a sudden,
like they're getting like some Smash Star and Stripe shows up, like
you get Star and Stripe, like what are the or fucking 1 second left. Oh, here's the Flash, like that's something that American comics do, and they do it well when it's written well. Japanese manga doesn't tend to do well in a sprint. It's very good in a drag race, which is why a lot of short form anime and manga are really, really, really good.
Or it's got to be cross country, and we're doing the long run.
Yeah, and if it's doing the long run, it gets tiresome. It gets boring. Like think about how many people despise the ending of Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
Attack on Titan, people every single season, people loved Attack on Titan. Season 2, hardly any Titans, but they turn it into a political battle, and people absolutely adored it. Then
I'm interested to see how people respond in this upcoming final part.
I've heard rumors that they're planning on changing it a little bit, just like how they're doing with Bleach right now. And I have said that right now, Bleach is was the best anime of 2022 because of how they did everything. Like they gave Kubo creative control. They let him work with the producers. He changed shit. He's going to add fights that he wasn't able to add. Yeah. He's like, there are some fights that just straight up weren't able to happen because my editors were on my ass. And to see that makes me happy. Like,
that gives me hope for Demon Slayer. The ending. Hopefully they do that type of shit for that.
Demon Slayer is Demon Slayer is the example of like short form, but like not quite short form. The one that I'm looking for them to stick the landing and hit is Chainsaw Man. That is it's a very short manga. that does have a part 2, and it will have a part 2 anime, but it's definitely like
it's different. It's a different story though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, and that is like Chainsaw Man, to me at least, was like the first dosage that people got of like non-conventional shonen.
No, that's a good point. No, you're absolutely right.
Because if Chainsaw Man came out like alongside shit, I would say like if Chainsaw Man came out in 2009, it would not be as
It'd have
popular
been
as
cut.
it is.
Yeah,
It would
I don't
not
know
be
if
as
it would got
popular
a part 2. Like
because
no. Oh no, go ahead.
Because he actually had one earlier. It was called Fire Punch.
Punch, yep, and that no one really talks about Fire Punch at all.
And remember,
and it's
Fire
great.
Punch. Fire Punch is a seinen anime, a seinen manga, which
True.
it has a lot of mature overtones, and it's
It
a lot
goes
more.
there.
Yeah, it goes there. It does. It doesn't go there like Oh man, there's another seinen manga I read. Oh, I can't believe I forgot what it was called. Literally, I'm not even joking. They're like doing owl shit like below.
Oh, jeez,
It's
crazy.
fucked up, man. They're like the main character is like a cop that's like half like alien, and he's able to like turn half his body into like a gun or some shit.
Damn.
And as he kills the bad guys, they like this thing comes out of their body and he crushes it up and snorts it like blow. Like
you gotta send me that.
Yeah,
when you figure out the name, you gotta let me know.
So vile and disgusting. I think I did it for like it was like one of my favorite horror manga for like the holiday season for Christmas for fucking Halloween.
That sounds hard.
But like My Hero is very much a very, very, not to like digress and go too far away and kind of move back to season 6, but like
no, that's perfect. That's what we're trying to get.
Yeah. So like what My Hero does right is also what it does wrong at the same time. And if I were to say season 6 is kind of the way that Core 2 kind of really insulted its fans by saying and doing that recap, knowing that this season is going to have some of the most powerful moments in the entire series. Like them trying to show you that Ochako is like going to be a main character in this arc is very smart. But like it's I feel like Ida and Ochako are both on the same level of one another for this arc, where Ochako kind of moves up a little bit more towards the end, where she tries to get everybody to kind of understand why he's still staying at UA. But like during the retrieval arc, like the vigilante, like trying to get him back, that's Ida. Like the person that gets him back is the Kirishima equivalent for Deku, and that had to be Ida. Because
and Bakugo even says that. He's like, you got Kirishima for me. It has to be Ida to get you.
Exactly. It's like there's only so
because
much.
Deku got Ida with Stain. Like it goes back to that first original mission.
There's that overbearing like, sense of responsibility that Ida has when it comes to this type of situation, because Deku's taking on something by himself and disregarding everybody else. And there's really only one person in the classroom that understands that type of vengeance, and it's Ida. And the motherfucker can't move his hand out of a chop anymore because of that. Like, like that's 100%. The thing. That's one of my favorite things. Like you see him like move his hand up and down, like he's chopping, like doing his thing like that. It's like, his hand is stuck that way. Like it's the tendons in his arm are fucked because he got stabbed because he was an idiot and went after a villain that, let's be very honest here, didn't try to kill them, because if he tried off the bat, he would have. The three of them would have been wasted. Like it wasn't until he had a punctured lung and got fucked up that he was like, okay, I got to kill these kids now. And before that, it was already too late because he didn't take them seriously off the jump.
Let me. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. It's all you.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, before we get out of here, tell me who you think some of the final because we know Deku's gonna fight Shigaraki, Todoroki's gonna fight Dabi, but for people like Ida, Bakugo, Kirishima, even Lemillion at this point, who do you think some of these matchups fall to?
Okay, so Kirishima and I think Kirishima and Yaoyorozu are gonna fight the people that killed Midnight.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
I think that is probably the most likely situation for Kirishima, Momo, and them, because you have Jiro and she's already in the main fight with Tokoyami and stuff. So I would say Kirishima and Momo are probably going to find the people that killed Midnight. Well, and I would say like it's going, because remember, like Midnight got ganged up on. So like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like they go, oh yeah, we're the group of people that killed Midnight, and you
And they
think you're
take
gonna
them
be able,
out.
and then
Yeah.
you have like the back half of 1A, like Sato and Mineta and all them, you
That
know,
makes sense. Because the ones who were affected by it most, yeah.
yeah, you have them, take them to church, so then Todoroki's gonna fight
Ochako's getting
Gabi.
Choko's
Ochako is
getting
getting
top.
Toga.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Toga for sure.
Ochako and Sue are gonna get Toga. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember Compress is still alive too.
Oh yeah,
So
you're right.
it's a kind of like a up in the air whether or not Compress and Makia come back too, because remember they're still,
If Makia comes
floating.
back, I see Karishima getting involved with that.
I
Like,
think that's the thing though. It's like I think like if that's the case, then Kirishima will have to be the one to take down Makia. I think that would be like a huge thing for him. It'd be him and Mina would team up to take down Makia.
Makia, yeah. I
While
can even
you'd
see
have,
like you get like Fat Gum there, like helping him, like on
yeah,
the like and shit. You could even put Sun Eater there as like doing like
yeah,
Sky shit, like the
no,
Karishima team.
that's the whole, like, if they bring back Makia. And do I think he
True.
should come back? Yes. I mean, there's no reason for him not to come back at this point. Like
Mm-hmm.
Compress, maybe not, because Compress has a hole in the side of his body. So yeah, maybe
There's still
might
some of
not
those
come
other
back.
prisoners that are, all for one's people that we still
Exactly.
haven't seen.
They were saying Moonfish is going to get a fight, so Moonfish is probably going to come back at some point too and fight somebody. But like, that's also the problem that I have with the current pacing of the manga right now, because the manga has so many plot lines in the air that are very frayed. Like, there's the
Yep.
Lady Nagant and Overhaul stuff. So that's why I think Lady Nagant, Overhaul, La Brava, and Gentle are going to be a part of that Suicide Squad team that
I like that.
taking down Nomu and taking down small villains, and the big fight between La Brava and Skeptic is going to happen, where maybe like you
Hack
have like,
mode.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have them hacking against one another, and then Skeptic is turning shit into inanimate objects, and you have Gentle bouncing around destroying them all, kind of stuff.
I like that. That's a good call.
For the rest of class 1A though, there's the one fight that I wanted that happened but didn't really happen, was Shoji versus Spinner.
Yeah. And see that's still left in the air because that still can happen too.
Yeah, Shoji versus Spinner and Koda is a very powerful fight, because you saw in the manga that they make it like a point to kind of point out that mutants
Our
are
thing, yeah.
literally second-class citizens in Japan. And even in Vigilantes, they say that off the bat. Like, there's a scene with Detective Tanuma when he's going through number 6's blood. He goes, the first, blood type on scene. Well, this is weird because it's the high speed hero and he disappeared years ago. Da 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 da. And then it goes, the second one goes, it must be some sort of monster or some freak or
Yeah,
something
I
like that. And
remember
he just
that.
goes, and then he turns to Tsukauchi and goes, but that's not PC. I really shouldn't call them monsters like that. Like, that's the thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it shows you that fucking the cops out there are racist against mutants. Like,
Yep.
and it's inadvertent bias, very, very similar to our fucking current society, that
Yep.
they show you that, and they give you that depiction that shit is going down, because then you meet the praying mantis guy that's like, yeah, I can't even go and use a bathroom because they don't even have bathrooms that cater
For
me.
to me. And then they're like, and the thing with Shoji that was so powerful is like when he talks about the hospital, he was like, heroes didn't care, they saved us all. And then when the mutants start realizing that, they were like, wait, yeah, why are we destroying these innocent people? They're not the ones who harmed us. Like, that was powerful stuff.
It's like, yo, you are like that. I get that was like a built-in rebellion for them to like call upon, but like, you called upon normal people. And the thing about normal people is they'll see red until you bring sense back to them. And that's what Shoji did right. He kind of made like the average guy that you knew was probably working at a fucking video store just go, wait, what the fuck am I doing right now?
Yep.
I need to chill. Like I'm seeing red. This is not the wave. I should be doing something completely different. And that's the thing where I say that there are so many lines that Horikoshi has drawn that it feels like getting to that certain point with the fight between Shigaraki, that should not have happened so fast.
Yeah. No, I agree. If it continues, he's gonna have to do the Hunter x Hunter thing like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
10 minutes
he already
ago.
has. He has.
True. Yeah. No, you're right.
Remember the mutant thing was he goes, meanwhile at the same time, and
You're
it's
right.
like that is, and meanwhile at the same time, what does that? American comics.
Yep.
American comics does 100%. That. At the same time, Ant-Man is in the microverse, jacking off Kang the Conqueror. Like
meanwhile, over in New York.
Meanwhile, over in New York, Spider-Man's getting fucking tossed and beaten by the Green Goblin on fucking Fifth Avenue. Like that's something that and then that's why I say like Horikoshi sometimes borrows a little too much from Western comics. But I see what he's doing. But like, if you're going to make, and this is where I say like, and I get kind of pissed, if you are going to make your fucking story like a Western comic book, acknowledge that you have made other books that sit within your continuity and don't let those characters stagnate. Okay.
Back to bringing it right back around to our vigilantes discussion.
It's straight up, dog. Like I don't understand the train of thought, the effort, the time that you have spent fleshing out your backstory. Like the moment where Tsukauchi finally realizes that All Might is Toshinori, that happens in Vigilantes. Like you see, like the why Stain doesn't have a fucking nose. Well, it happens in Vigilantes.
Yeah, no, 100%. There's so much.
Why Fat Gum knows about Trigger and why Trigger is so rampant? Well, because he was in on the initial raid of Trigger. Like
the initial bus, yeah.
That there's so many things that Horikoshi has given the okay to, and I've been told that Horikoshi pretty much made the plot line. He created Knuckle Duster. He created Koichi. He made these characters for Betancourt and Furuhashi to go off the rails with. And you're telling me that
they don't matter? Yeah.
They don't matter? That your country is currently in fucking shambles? That like
and the Flash won't come.
Yeah, like literally the Flash won't show up. Like Batman and Superman are getting their asses beat and they need somebody that can literally wage an entire war in 30 seconds and you don't call the Flash. Like the only misstep that I think that is greater than this right now is JoJo's Part 6 when Poochie decides to kill everybody and Giorno isn't anywhere. The guy who can literally reverse any causality.
That's
period.
A good point.
Like if this shit happens, like I understand Araki was like, okay, I have created the most convoluted universe ever. I need to make something from scratch again, but I still want to make JoJo's. Let's just reset the entire fucking universe. Fuck it. Next part, make them race across the country for the parts of Jesus Christ. Like
random different dimension.
Different fucking dimensions. That when I tell everybody that what's the plot of part 7, it's like race across the country for the parts of Jesus Christ. And, like that what?
He wanted to tell something different. No, you're absolutely right. Do we think Bakugo, we've seen Bakugo's fight. Do we know who that's going to be? Or do you think we haven't met the person yet?
I don't think we've met the person yet quite for Bakugo's fight. I do think that the big thing was that we saw Bakugo's quirk begin to evolve. I think, one, the question is whether or not Ed Shot will die. Repairing his heart.
Yeah, repairing his heart. Yeah, true.
I don't know whether or not Ed Shot will die saving him. He said he's gone inside of bodies before, and he said he's going to lose consciousness at some point.
But if he does die, that he might add something to Bakugo's
which I mean,
quirk.
Yes, exactly. Which is like, is he going to be able to create strands of fucking TNT kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like, is he going to be able to like Because, like, think about it. If he's able to pierce somebody's body and then fucking
Blow it
blow
up.
up, like, that's C4.
Crazy.
That's straight up
Yeah.
C4. Like, that's det cord. Like, he can make detonation cord out of himself. And if that's the case where he just goes, well, guess what, Deku? I have another quirk too, because a person literally fused with me. Like, we've actually also been told that, what happens to somebody when they have multiple quirks, they end up, just blowing up or destroying themselves. Unless you're Lady Nagant, then you just have a bomb placed inside of you as a caveat. But spoilers.
We've been spoiling this whole time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, honestly, dude, if you've been watching this just for the sake of me, I am very sorry. But I spoil shit. That's kind of like my non-deployment.
No, that's same. Me too.
Yeah, I spoil shit. It's like everybody goes, damn, why'd you spoil it? It's like, cause that's what I do. If you want to, like,
if you're watching this, like we're talking about, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
it's like no Sarah, but I think Bakugo, when Bakugo wakes up, I think that he's going to be the one to probably, because now that All For One and Shigaraki are in the same spot, I think he's going to be the one to fight All For One.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a possibility. I don't think that it's a strong possibility because he's been dead for almost 3 months.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely for that because you have so many of the top heroes that are out of commission right now, which also leads me to be like, okay, My Hero is supposed to end this year. That's supposed to be 2023 is supposed to be the end of My Hero Academia. If that's not the case, and Horikoshi is having a Kishimoto moment where he extends this out somehow,
which I could see that happening, man, because I don't know how it ends this year.
I can see it happening, but at the same time, I could see it ending next week.
Oh, real?
Horikoshi is not a stranger to jumping around. He's not, because remember, like the space in between the end of the current fight in Core 1 and the beginning of Core 2 is very jarring.
Yeah, like, no, it is.
It really doesn't give you much closure. It doesn't even really I don't even remember if, like, you can see Shigaraki escape.
No, like, you can't. I don't think you do.
I don't even think you see him escape. He just kind of disappears, and then that's it. And then it
pops back up.
Yeah, and then it has the nerve to go 2 weeks later. It's like, I hate. I like, honestly, I heard you can't fucking Justin Roiland's getting canceled now too. But like he has the best, or it's actually no, fuck it, Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon says, start your stories where they begin. Don't start your stories where they end, or do the 15 minutes later. That was one of my biggest problems with the Deadpool movie. The Deadpool movie starts out and then flashes back fucking 3 hours. Like, and then finally halfway through the movie, it catches up. Like, I hate Memento style movies. All right, you're not fucking Guy Ritchie. Like,
yeah, and you're not Christopher Nolan. So like, what are we doing here?
It's like, dude, I'm trying to watch an anime. I'm not trying to watch Tenet. Like,
no, I feel you. Okay, well, fuck yeah, Dan. Well, this has been dope. I love talking to you. This has been amazing. Tell the people where they can follow you out on social media, and I'll bring you back after Core 2. After Part 2 of whatever this is, Part 2 of Season 6, and we'll review it, talk about it, and then catch us up with the manga, talk about that. And then we'll see you on Pitch It, more than likely part of the triple threat match for the belt. See if you win. But tell the people where they can follow you out on social media, where they can get your bar.
All right, dog. So first of all, Lynn, thank you very much for having me once again. I really appreciate it. I love these talks that we have, man. I've been waiting for us, man. I literally told my wife, I was like, yo, I'm not going to the gym today, okay?
We're going ham.
I've been wanting to have this conversation with Lynn for going on like 2 months at this point, man. We've been talking about doing this for a minute. But Daps, thank you so much for having me. Everyone, be sure to subscribe to the Bros Who Think, Twitch, YouTube, all that good stuff. And then for me, make sure you can follow me pretty much anywhere at DanExclaims on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok for the time being until it gets canceled and fucking taken off. But I'm doing mad shorts over there. I might even start doing Dan in real life. Who knows? But yeah, man, I got all the volumes now, so it's like I can't like scan the volumes. I gotta like be like that guy that holds out his. That was like the most deflating thing ever, dog. When I made a fucking video holding out my cell phone and it got 1.5 million views. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I made a digital bar, people. But all right.
Yeah, no, like
what the hell? Right. But yeah, at DanExclaims pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, man. Y'all, thank you so much, Dan. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him. Check out his bar. Check out all of his amazing content. And until next time, peace.